Alright, so as you might know, Avenza recently updated their PDF Maps app, and we lost some functionality, so we can only have up to 3 maps at a time now, and for some reason we can't use MGRS coordinates. So if you're like me and you normally have your iPad set to auto-update your apps, you probably automatically updated to the newest version 3.0, and you lost the functionality that we once had with the old version. But there's a way to downgrade it. I'm going to show you guys that today. If you don't know if you have the old or the new version, this app icon is the old version. This one is the new version. So look on your iPad. If it looks like this, you're good. Just turn off auto updates and don't update Avenza. Or you can continue and do it the way we're doing it. That way you never have to turn on. You never have to turn off auto updates. If you have this, you have the new version. You're going to need to do. You're going to need to downgrade it. So. First things first is you might have an old version of it stored on iTunes, so go ahead and open up iTunes and see if maybe you hooked it up to your computer and it pulled an old version off and you haven't hooked it up since. You might have it. So go to apps over here, choose apps, and choose your library and see what you've got in there. If you have the old Avenza Maps or PDF Maps with the old icon, you can just put that back on your iPad. What you want to do is go to your iPad, delete Avenza off of there. Now that's going to delete all your maps and everything. But you're going to delete Avenza off of there, and then you're going to hook up your iPad, and then reinstall this app through iTunes. And once you do that, it'll put the old version back on there. Now, if you don't, if you're like me and you never hook your iPad up to your computer to sync, and you do it all through iCloud, then you're not going to have it there. But and if you don't, that's what we're going to do now. So first thing you want to do is if you do have a version in here, new, old, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to delete it out of here. So that's the first thing we need to do is go ahead and delete it. Just click on it, hit delete. Yes, I want to delete the app, and it might ask if you want to delete it or leave it in your folder. You're going to want to go ahead and say that you want to just delete it, send it to the recycle bin. The other thing we're going to want to do is delete it off of our iPad. So go to your iPad and delete Avenza Maps. Otherwise, it might try to, if you leave the new one on your iPad and you download this old one like we're going to do, when you hook up your iPad, it might just delete the old one you just downloaded and put the new one onto your computer. So delete it off your iPad, delete it out of iTunes. It shouldn't be anywhere right now, and we'll go ahead and continue on from here. The other thing to keep in mind is once you delete it, you're going to lose all your maps, so make sure you back those up somehow. Put them on a Dropbox, put them on your computer, however you want to do it. Go ahead and back up your maps. All right, we're going to go ahead and close out of this for now. Now there's some apps some programs we're going to need to use today to do this. First one's called Fiddler. You can just Google that. Google Fiddler, Fiddler. Download that app for Windows, and we'll show you how to use that in a minute. The other thing you're going to need is a zip file manager, something like 7-zip or WinZip. I use 7-zip. WinZip works just fine, but everything I'm going to show you today is going to be on 7-zip. You also need a plist editor. It's called plist editor Pro. You can download that from this website, www.icopybot.com/download.htm, and then go down here to the plist editor Pro, download the free trial, and go ahead and download that. The free trial will work just fine. We won't need anything else for what we're doing today. It's pretty simple, and I'll show you how to do that here at the end of the video. Obviously, you're also going to need iTunes. So let's go ahead and get started setting up Fiddler. That's the first thing we're going to need to do. So go ahead and double click on Fiddler. That's going to open up. It's going to give you a pop-up here. Go ahead and hit no to this. It's asking if you want to learn more about something. Just hit no. First thing we're going to do is go up here to the tools. We're going to go to the menu bar. Going to click on tools. Going to click on the Fiddler options. Once that's open, we're going to click the HTTPS tab. And then right here, there's a box that says decrypt HTTPS traffic. That is exactly what we want to do. Go ahead and click that box. It's going to give you a warning. If you want to trust the root certificate, yes, you do. Click yes. It's going to give you another warning. Hit yes. It's going to give you a warning probably from your computer asking if you wanted to let it make changes. You do want to do that. Hit yes there as well. It's going to give you another confirmation. Hit yes there. And then it's going to give you last one that lets you know that it added it to the list. So hit OK. All right. So now that we're here, we're going to go, and this box over here says actions. You're going to want to click on that box, and you're going to export the root certificate to the desktop. Let you know that it's been exported. Great. Hit OK. Now you're going to keep Fiddler open this entire time. Don't close it out. If you close it out, it might cause some errors, so just go ahead and minimize it. Now the Fiddler root certificate should be on your desktop. we're going to right click on this and we're going to install this certificate. So click install. It's going to give you a Windows wizard. You can install it on the current user. You don't have to put it on the machine, but either one works. Go ahead and click next. And then you're going to click the second checkbox that says place all certificates in the following store. Click browse, and the second one down should say trusted root certification authorities. That's the one you choose. Go ahead and click it. Click OK, and then click next. Once you're here, it's just telling you what it's doing. Go ahead and click finish, and it'll give you a confirmation that it imported it into your library. Click OK. All right, now that that's all set up, we can actually close out of Fiddler for now. Otherwise, it's going to slow down what we're going to do in iTunes. So go ahead and close that, and then open up iTunes. That'll take just a second here to open up. All right, we're opened up. Now, we're going to want to go back to apps. We're going to go to the App Store. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for the Avenza app. So once it loads, all right, go ahead and click in the search bar and search for Avenza. I have it here in my recent searches. All right, it's going to find it. Excuse me. All right, it's got iPhone apps, it's got iPad apps. Obviously, we want to download it for the iPad. Do not click download yet. We have to set up something in Fiddler here first. So go ahead and minimize that. Open Fiddler back up. It's going to give you that same pop-up. Just hit no. All right, now that we've got this up, what we're going to do is go to Tools. We're going to go to Rules. We're going to go to Automatic Breakpoints, and we're going to go Before Requests. Now, what this app basically does is it intercepts all the traffic on your network. So when you click download, when we go back to iTunes and click download, it's going to send that through your network, and this is going to intercept that. And what we can do here is we're going to do this Automatic Breakpoints before request, and what that's going to do is it's going to intercept that traffic, and it's not going to allow it to send to the Apple server. We're going to make an edit in the code so that it pulls the old version of the app instead of the new version of the app, and then we're going to let it go ahead and do it, and then and we'll go from there. So click the automatic breakpoints before requests, and then keep this open and go back to iTunes. All right, now we're back to iTunes. Come back to the iPad apps, the download button, and click download. It's going to start saying it's downloading, but it's not going to do it because we've got Fiddler over here stopping it because it intercepted it. It's going to show a couple things over here. You're going to want to find the one that says p17-buy.itunes.apple.com. It'll probably won't be the first one with the little red T by it. What you'll do is you click on that one that says that has the buy.itunes in it. And once we're there, this says Tunnel 2. Right up here in the menu bar, there's a Go button with a triangle. You're going to go ahead and click Go, and you're going to allow that one to play through. Once it does that, it's going to stop again. You're going to get three little red T's, and you're going to have three options over here, maybe four. Just depends. And you're going to look for the one that says, again, p17.buy or /buy.itunes.app. And what it's going to say here under the URL is webobjects/mzbuy.woa. That's the one we're going to click. There's another one that looks similar. It says MZ Bookkeeper. That's not the one we want. You're going to want to click the one that says mzbuy.woa. All right. Now that that's selected, this is where we're going to make an edit to the version. So you can come to the right side. Up here, the second header says Text View. Go ahead and click into there. Now on the text view, about the fifth line down, it says, or the fourth line down says App EXT version ID, and below that there's a number. It should be 819-682857. That's the newest updated version. That's 3.0.1. That's not the one we want. We're going to edit that. So click in there where that number is and delete that out of there. The app version that we want is 818-622-985. 818-622-985. All right, now that that's in there, just make sure that's in there. Click up here, just make sure it's it's thinking correctly. And then come back up to Rules, go to Automatic Breakpoints, and go back to Disabled. So click Disabled there. Now, it still hasn't run anything because it's still stopped. We need to make it do that. So come back over here to the right. There's a green box that says Run to Completion. Go ahead and click that. Now, that's going to go ahead and let it start downloading. You can go back to iTunes, and you'll see that it's downloading over here. You won't get, normally you get the icon up here that says that it's downloading for some, oh, it's right here. So this will tell you that it's downloading. It will take a couple of minutes because this is all still going through Fiddler. There it goes. Now you see it starts, and 18.6 megabytes. It's downloaded. All right, so that's downloaded. Over here now it says update. So this is the only problem. Now we've got the old version. We're good to go. It shows the new icon, but I guarantee you this is the old version. The only thing we need to do now, there's a way to change some code so that it won't auto-update. You can leave auto-update on your iPad, but this particular app will never auto-update because we're going to delete the code that tells it basically which versions to ask for. It won't know what to do, and it'll never auto-update. So that's what we're going to do next. At this point, it is ready to go. I mean, if you wanted to put this on your iPad now, you can. You can go ahead and put it right over to your iPad. However, I think disabling the auto-update function is the best way to go. So that's what we're going to do. So close out of iTunes for now. You can actually close out of Fiddler. We're finished with that. All right, now we're going to use the plist editor. So first we need to find where iTunes stores the app. And that's going to be, you're going to go to your C drive, go to Users, go to your name, and then they store it in the music folder. All of iTunes stuff goes in the music folder. So find your music folder, double click on that, find your iTunes folder, click there, and then it's going to say iTunes Media, and it's going to say Mobile Applications. Now you've got the PDF Maps 57.IPA. I would go ahead and make a copy of this, place it somewhere in your documents or something like that. That way, if something happens in this next portion, if you delete the wrong code or, I don't know, just royally screw it up, you can come back and at least start fresh again. So I would make a copy of this and place it somewhere in your documents folder on your desktop, somewhere until we make sure that what we're going to do is going to work. All right, so now that we're here, you're going to right-click on this, and you're going to open it with either 7-zip or WinZip, whichever one you use. Again, I'm using 7-zip, so I'm going to go ahead and open the archive. That's going to bring up a window here, which has 4 files. The bottom file is going to be iTunes metadata.plist. What we're going to do here is we're going to put that on our desktop. So right-click on it, and then go Move To. Over here in this right little box, click that, and then choose your desktop. Right there. Click OK. Click OK one more time. Uh-oh. All right. Never mind. Try that again. Right-click. Oh, we didn't want to... I said Move To. We're going to copy it to, so forget what I just said. Copy to. Choose your desktop. Click OK. Click OK. There we go. Now, copied to our desktop. Don't move it to your desktop. It'll give you an error. Copy it to your desktop. Sorry about that. All right. Now it's on our desktop. What we're going to do is open this with the plist editor that we downloaded. So right-click on this and go to Open With. Over here, I have plist editor because I've used it before. If you've never used it, you might need to go choose another app. Now, it should show up somewhere here in your other options. It does for me. If it doesn't, scroll down to More Apps, go all the way down to the bottom, look for another app on this PC, and find where plist editor is. It's probably in your Programs or your Programs x86 folder. Once you find it, though, click on it, click OK, and now this is going to open in the plist editor. All right. All right, this plist here, we have to delete some code out of here. So you're going to scroll all the way down, almost to the bottom. You'll start seeing a line here that says integer with a bunch of numbers. You'll see about, I don't know, 35, 40 lines of that. And we're going to delete some code out of here. So we're going to start right above all these numbers, about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines up. It says Software Version Bundle ID. Software Version Bundle ID. Start there and just choose all the way down to below these numbers to that first array option. So again, we chose from Software Version Bundled ID all the way down through all these integer numbers to the very next line that says array, and you're going to delete that. Go ahead and hit delete. It's going to leave a space. You want to get rid of that space, so just hit backspace until there's no spaces. It looks like a single straight line of code, and then once that's there, go ahead and hit File and Save. Once it's saved, hit Exit. All right, now this new this metadata that we put on our desktop is now ready to go back into 7-zip. So just go ahead and drag it over and put it in there. It's going to ask if you want to copy it. Hit yes. It'll automatically overwrite your old one. Now you're good to go. And you can go ahead and exit out of that as well. All right, now this PDF PDF Maps 57.IPA here, that is now a downgraded app that will never auto-update. So now we just have to get it on our iPad. It's pretty simple. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and put the app onto your iPad. So you can close out of this. Go ahead and open iTunes again. All right, once this opens, you're going to want to plug in your iPad. And once your iPad's plugged in, it'll try to find it. It'll try to sync. I always stop the sync and then click your iPad icon over here. All right, click on apps on the left, and it'll show apps that you have on your computer that you don't have on your iPad, or maybe you do, but you're going to want to find the Avenza Maps that you have, that you just downloaded, and click Install. It'll say will install. Once that's ready, just hit apply. And now it'll go ahead and install it onto your iPad. All right, and even though it shows the new icon over here, it's going to download that older version that we got by using Fiddler. Got done transferring that new app, the older version of PDF Maps, to my iPad. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you. So put it right here, and as you can see, it's got the old PDF Maps icon on there. That's how you know it downloaded the correct one. Go ahead and click into it though, and open it up. It's going to ask if you want to allow it in the background. Usually you do. Accept the terms of service. And then it's going to try and show you a tutorial. You can close out of that. Go down to settings and look right up here. It's going to tell you the version number. It should say 2.7.4. If it says that, you're good to go. It's also not going to require any updates or ask for any updates. And the way you can check that is to go to your App Store, find Avenza in there, and it should say, now that we did it that way, it should say open instead of update. Whereas normally it would ask you if you want to update it. And if you go to updates, it's not going to be there, and it'll never be there. So you can keep the automatic updates on your iPad if you want, and it'll never update Avenza, and you should be good to go. All right, now that that's all done, we kind of have a mess that we need to kind of clean up here before we finish up. Your iPad should be good to go. It deleted all your data, so all your maps you had, you're going to need to re-download those. So you can either keep it hooked up to your iPad and do it that way, or pull them off a Dropbox, or however you want to do it. All right, so first, let's go ahead and delete the Fiddler root certificate. We don't need that anymore. You can throw that in the recycling bin. The iTunes metadata that we edited, that's a duplicate now. We can throw that in the recycling bin. We're also going to want to delete all those certificates out, or it might cause you problems later. So go ahead and open Fiddler again, press no, and then go up to Tools and go to the Fiddler options again, HTTPS, deselect the decrypt HTTPS traffic box, and then click the Actions button right over here on the right. Open the Windows Certificate Manager. And you're going to want to look in 3 different folders in here and delete out the certificates. So first is Personal. Go to Certificates, and anything that says Do Not Trust Fiddler Root, you need to delete that. So all these ones from here down, and this one right here, we need to delete all of those. All right, so we'll do that. Go ahead and delete them. It'll ask if you want to do it. Yes. And now they're gone. You need to also go into the Trusted Root Certification Authorities. Go in there, and again, anything that says Do Not Trust Fiddler Root, you're going to delete that. All right, so for me, it was just those 2. There might be more in there. Go ahead and delete them. Make sure they deleted and they're not in here anymore. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is go into the Intermediate Certification Authorities, go to Certificates, and there should be 1 in here that you're going to want to go ahead and delete. And that should be it. Now they're all deleted. You can close out of that. You can hit OK here. You can close out of Fiddler. And hey, if you're not going to do anything like this again, you can go ahead and delete Fiddler. You can go ahead and delete the plist editor. You can delete 7-zip. 7-zip's pretty good for other stuff, though, so you might want to keep that. But that's about it. You're all cleaned up, and now you have an old version of Avenza you can use. You can have more than 3 maps. You can see MGRS, and you don't have to worry about it updating to the new version ever again. It should be good to go. If you have any questions, let me know. Call me, email me, text me, whatever, and I'll try to help you out.